The devastating illness that Goldie Hawn's longtime partner Kurt Russell is dealing with has rocked their world. A lot of people are worried about how their long-term romance will play out in light of this sudden health catastrophe. How will Goldie handle the heartbreak of parting ways with her soulmate? It was inevitable that Kurt Vogel Russell, who was born on March 17, 1951 in Springfield, Massachusetts, would lead a life of fame. The famous actor Bing Russell and the legendary ballerina Louise Julia were his parents. Kurt's life is woven with a diverse tapestry of English, Irish, German, and Scottish origins. He spent his childhood in Thousand Oaks, California, with his three sisters, Jody, Jamie, and Jill. Kurt has always had a soft spot for baseball, even as a little boy. He carried his passion for baseball into high school, playing second base for Thousand Oaks High School after having played in a small league during his elementary school years. Earned my diploma in 1969. It was a family tradition since his father Bing had also played professional baseball. His sister Jill's son, Matt Franco, also became a professional baseball player, demonstrating the depth of this sport's obsession. There was more to Kurt's childhood than baseball. Additionally, he felt compelled to serve. He was a member of the 146th Tactical Airlift Wing of the California Air National Guard from 1969 until 1975. His stint as an Air Guard was characterized by unwavering determination, much like his acting career. As a kid actor, Kurt got his start early in the industry and became well known. In his debut film, It Happened at the World's Fair, he had an uncredited but memorable scene kicking Elvis Presley's character in the leg. Thanks to this little part, she was able to land guest spots on all the top TV shows of the era. The ABC sitcom Our Man Higgins, which featured Stanley Holloway, cast Kurt as a guest star in 1963. The Travels of Jamie McPheeters, an ABC Western series, cast him as the lead role shortly after he was cast due to his obvious talent. A character based on Robert Louis Taylor's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, Kurt demonstrated his acting chops in this part. Kurt's cameo appearances on popular TV shows kept his career skyrocketing. He made an appearance in the film The Fugitive, in which Dr. Richard Kimball inadvertently abducts the son of Police Lieutenant Philip Gerard. His portrayal of this multifaceted character demonstrated his expanding acting repertoire. He further showcased his acting chops on Gunsmoke and The Virginian, where he portrayed characters caught up in intense plots. Adding to his impressive resume, Kurt played Jungle Boy in an episode of Gilligan's Island when he was only 13 years old. He was a highly sought-after young actor in Hollywood due to his versatility. When Kurt inked a 10-year deal with Walt Disney Productions in 1966, his career took a dramatic swing. His position as the top star of the 1970s at Disney was cemented by this contract. In his debut feature for Disney, Follow Me Boys, he made an indelible impression on both critics and moviegoers. It is indisputable that Kurt's future acting career would be as successful as Walt Disney had foretold. Kurt Russell's name was one of the last things Walt Disney ever penned, a testament to the studio's importance in the young actor. The start of a successful partnership with Disney was this moving moment. Kurt had a number of starring roles at Disney, including that of Private Willie Prentice in Willie and the Yank, the Mosby Raiders. Another example of Kurt's adaptability is this part, which was staged in certain areas as Mosby's Marauders. Kurt continued to make an impression as a guest star on a wide variety of TV shows throughout his tenure with Disney. From his appearances in Lost in Space to The Challenge, where he played Quano, the son of a planet ruler, his acting career was rather varied. Kurt met his future wife, Goldie Hawn, while filming the original Family Band, which is one of a kind. Meeting each other marked the start of an on-screen and off-screen collaboration that would last a lifetime. Kurt further solidified his status as a cherished Disney star with his performances in films such as Guns in the Heather and The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit. Kudos to Kurt Russell, whose star was definitely on the rise thanks to his enchanting Disney blockbusters. His breakthrough role came in Disney's The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, which marked his transition from child actor to leading man. Kurt demonstrated his talent for combining charisma with humor in this critically acclaimed film. He further cemented his position as a bankable star with his continuous success with The Barefoot Executive, with his co-starring role in Fool's Parade opposite James Stewart in 1971. Kurt ventured far beyond the safety of the Disney bubble. He showed a darker side of his acting chops in the role of a teenage parolee turned thief. He also had a remarkable guest appearance that year in Room 222, where he played a high school student who was so concerned about pollution that he dressed as Paul Revere. These parts showcased Kurt's adaptability and gave a glimpse of the diverse cast he would eventually play. Nevertheless, Kurt's career was not complete without Disney. His filmography includes hits like Super Dad, Charlie and the Angel, Now You See Him and Now You Don't. These films solidified his reputation as a cherished Disney actor. Following in his father's footsteps, Kurt pursued his passion for baseball. He was a switch hitter and second baseman with the Bend Rainbows and the Walla Islanders, two minor league teams that belonged to the California Angels in the early 1970s. His professional baseball dreams came crashing down when he suffered a ruptured rotator cuff in a devastating collision at second base. Kurt had to go back to acting because of this injury. A turn of events for which Hollywood would eventually be eternally thankful. The New Land, an ABC series that Kurt starred in 1974, was highly praised by critics. Reviews were mixed, but the show's ratings were so low that it was canceled after only 6 episodes. Kurt was unfazed and went back to his glory days at Disney, where he starred in another smash success, The Strongest Man in the World. The 1979 TV movie Elvis, in which Kurt played the role of the renowned Elvis Presley, was a watershed moment in his career. With this part, he went from being a Disney celebrity to a legitimate Hollywood actor, and he even was nominated for an Emmy. This picture, which Kurt appears in as the first in a string of iconic roles was directed by John Carpenter and marked the beginning of a productive partnership between the two. As he took on more and more duties, Kurt's adaptability shone through. Although he appeared in Used Cars and the touching drama Amber Waves, it was his portrayal of Snake Plissken in Escape from New York that firmly established him as a legendary figure in Hollywood. It became a cult classic thanks to Carpenter, the director, and Kurt's performance, which demonstrated his ability to play complicated, edgy roles. After working with Carpenter on the horror masterpiece The Thing, he went back to Disney to voice Copper in The Fox and the Hound. The Thing has gone from being a critically panned picture to a beloved classic, proving once and for all that Kurt can successfully steer dramatic, high-octane stories. As an indication of his skill in more somber, dramatic parts, Kurt was nominated for a Golden Globe in 1983 for Silkwood. He took his already stellar career to the next level with his critically acclaimed performance alongside Cher and Meryl Streep. Kurt starred in a number of films in the 1980s, including Swing Shift, which he co-starred with his girlfriend Goldie Hawn, and The Best of Times and The Mean Season. Big Trouble in Little China, another picture by Carpenter, featured him as an anti-hero truck driver. Critics were divided on the film at first, but he went on to acquire a devoted fan base. In Overboard, starring alongside Goldie Hawn, Kurt showcased his comedic abilities to the fullest. Their already legendary status as Hollywood's golden couple was solidified when this romantic comedy became a treasured classic. The more roles Kurt Russell carved out for himself in Hollywood, the more varied and significant they were. Tequila Sunrise was a seminal film that changed people's views. Kurt was noticed by Hollywood for his versatility and ability to tackle complicated roles after this performance. After that, he went on to star in Winter People and collaborate with Sylvester Stallone in the thrilling Tango and Cash. Both films demonstrated his versatility and ability to give powerful, unforgettable performances in a variety of genres. During the early 1990s, Kurt played a string of legendary parts that cemented his place as a Hollywood powerhouse. In the dramatic firefighter film Backdraft, he played the role of Lieutenant Stephen Bull McCaffrey, displaying a range of emotions from courage to weakness. After that, he gave a stirring performance as the renowned lawman Wyatt Earp in Tombstone, donning the cowboy hat. He continued to showcase his talent for leading parts in high-concept science fiction with his performance as Colonel Jack O'Neill in Stargate. Another interesting aspect of Kurt's varied career is the uncredited performance of his voice as Elvis Presley in Forrest Gump. However, he garnered critical praise for his portrayal of Herb Brooks, the U.S. Olympic hockey coach, in the film Miracle. Many reviewers noted that the film truly belonged to Kurt and they praised his performance. Roger Ebert and Elvis Mitchell were among those who praised his convincing and heartfelt performance as Brooks. Kurt unveiled an unexpected aspect of his profession behind the scenes. He made the assertion in 2006 that he had ghost-directed George P. Cosmatos' 2006 smash western Tombstone. His intriguing career was further enhanced by this revelation. Kurt claims that before Cosmatos passed away, he made a pact with him to keep this secret, displaying honesty and commitment to his work. Kurt's career took a sharp turn once he worked with Quentin Tarantino. His terrifying portrayal of the villainous stuntman Mike in the horror film Death Proof captivated viewers. Kurt continued to work with Tarantino on films like The Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, lending his magnetic personality to the director's signature style of storytelling. With his big role in Guardians of the Galaxy Vol. 2, Kurt became a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and showed that he could adapt to any genre, even superhero flicks. But Kurt was not happy with the news of an Escape from New York remake. Kurt supposedly took issue with Gerard Butler playing Snake Plissken, a character he thought exemplified everything that was uniquely American to him. A documentary about Kurt's father and the Portland Mavericks, the battered bastards of baseball, likewise took a nostalgic turn. Premiering at 2014's Sundance Film Festival, this documentary follows the Mavericks as they tell their remarkable and motivational narrative. Kurt continued his daring career as a co-star in Furious 7, injecting the high-octane series with his trademark energy. In the Western horror flick Bone Tomahawk, released that same year, he won over critics and moviegoers alike as Sheriff Franklin Hunt, a part that allowed him to demonstrate his talent for combining intense emotion with rough hardness. Kurt Russell's personal life underwent some extraordinary changes at the same time as his career reached new heights. He wed Cecil Hubley, an actress he'd met on the Elvis set, in 1979. Boston, the couple's son, was born on February 16, 1980. Having said that, they divorced in 1983, preparing Kurt for what will be the next phase of his life. Kurt re-established contact with Goldie Hawn in the year after his marriage dissolved. They met for the first time in 1966 on set of the only real original family band. Their shared dislike of dating other performers and their 6-year age gap made a romance between them appear unlikely at the time. Kurt was 16 and Goldie was 21. She thought him was cute, but he was too little. 17 years later, in 1983, they crossed paths once more for the swing shift casting. A little too candid and drunk, Kurt made a comment on Goldie's body during their audition. His candor was appreciated by Goldie rather than taken offense by him. Their initial outing together was an unforgettable experience. At the end of the night, they broke into a property that Goldie was renovating, but the cops stopped them. They had gone swing dancing at the Playboy Club earlier. A longtime partnership began with an unexpected start. Their real-life romance was just as intense as their on-screen chemistry and dynamic, and they quickly became inseparable. It wasn't only Kurt's attractiveness. Goldie was captivated by his sincere character. But his easygoing nature around her children, Oliver and Kate Hudson from her first marriage, was the deciding factor. Kurt's immediate and profound connection with her children cemented Goldie's sentiments. Their blended family expanded in 1986 with the arrival of Wyatt Russell as son. Kurt had been an integral part of Goldie's family by that point, and he had adopted her children. They thought that the secret to their long-lasting relationship was a combination of respect, love, and a firm belief in each other's uniqueness. The long-term commitment and intense love between Kurt and Goldie never led them to consider marriage. Goldie said that they stayed independent so they could make choices about their relationship every day, which fostered respect and independence. When asked why they never got married, Kurt agreed, saying that they and their children never felt the need to get married in order to prove their love for one another. Their partnership has many wonderful milestones. Their on-screen chemistry was palpable again in the 1987 hit comedy Overboard, in which they co-starred. Even now, many people enjoy this movie. Kurt and Goldie liked re-watching it and remembering how much fun they had making it even after all these years had passed. An unforgettable event occurred at the 1989 Academy Awards when they playfully pretended to pop the question while accepting an award. Their carefree attitude to love and life was encapsulated in the amusing interaction which delighted the audience and solidified their position as Hollywood's golden pair. Grandchildren were welcomed into Kurt and Goldie's family, which continued to grow. As a result of Goldie's daughter giving birth to Ryder in 2004, Kurt and Goldie became doting grandparents. Under their kind supervision, their blended family, which included Boston from Kurt's first marriage as well as Oliver, Kate, and Wyatt, succumbed. A double-star ceremony on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was held in 2017 to honor their remarkable accomplishments. In his moving remarks to Goldie, Kurt captured the essence of their everlasting love at the wedding. "My amazing life is because of you. I love you, Goldie, that much is clear." Reflecting the profound bond they had, Goldie's reply was just as moving. They reprised their roles as Santa and Mrs. Claus in the Netflix holiday film The Christmas Chronicles, further inspiring audiences with their love story. Their chemistry was on full display in this part, and they returned to it for the sequel, which came out in 2020. Why they never tied the knot was a common interview topic. According to both of them, staying single was a deliberate decision that gave them the freedom to pursue their relationship at their own pace. More important than a formal agreement was the everyday choice to be together in their eyes. The offspring of Kurt and Goldie have likewise achieved great success. Famous for her work in both dramatic and romantic comedies, Kate Hudson is an actress of great renown. Oliver Hudson has had a fruitful acting career, appearing in several popular TV shows. Wyatt Russell, who was formerly an ice hockey star, has followed in his parents' footsteps and carved out a career as an actor, while Boston Russell has opted for a life away from the limelight. Over the years, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's house was filled with pleasure and laughter. However, an unexpected dark twist just disrupted their seemingly perfect lives. Kurt Russell was struck down by a terrifying and uncommon illness. When Kurt started getting sores under his lower lip, his health took a worrying turn. At first glance, they appeared to be insignificant imperfections, yet their persistence prompted further examination. An uncommon genetic condition known for generating polyps in the digestive tract and black spots on the skin, Peutz-Jeghers syndrome (PJS), was detected by the doctors. A considerably higher risk of cancer is associated with this syndrome, having a lifetime risk that can reach 93%, as reported by CancerNet. In spite of his tough demeanor, Kurt has been fighting a fierce struggle for his health as of late. The wounds are deep and abscessed. These lesions are precancerous and could progress to aggressive malignancy if not addressed promptly. Even though he is not Kurt's doctor, Dr. Stuart Fisher stressed how critical it is to treat these lesions immediately. To stop the condition from getting worse, tests and therapies had to be done right away. Dr. Gabe Merkin, an immunologist, agreed and emphasized the need of providing Kurt with immediate and comprehensive medical care. It was obvious that this was a very serious matter. Kurt had to move swiftly to lessen the impact of PJS, which could have been catastrophic. Rumors began circulating during this chaotic time that Kurt and Goldie were at odds with each other. Even the strongest relationships could be tested by the stresses of coping with a potentially fatal illness. Still, their relationship was unbreakable, despite the rumors to the contrary. There was unfaltering affection and support from Goldie as she stood at Kurt's side. Kurt, under close medical monitoring, is battling this unrelenting illness. Goldie, who never gives up hope, is confident in his abilities. Their love story, which has been filled with happiness and laughter for decades, is suddenly confronted with a major obstacle. Still, they draw strength from one another even when things go tough.